Welcome to Impact, analysing global developments likely to affect Sri Lanka. This week we cover: IMF warns of exceptionally uncertain global outlook, the US likely to raise interest rates by 75 basis points, Saudi Arabia to increase oil output, UK economy on edge. The IMF chief has warned that the exceptionally uncertain global economic outlook could worsen if higher prices persist, stating that Russia's intensifying war in Ukraine increased pressure on commodity and energy prices, and that continuing pandemic-related disruptions and renewed bottlenecks in global supply chains are weighing on economic activity. Impact on Sri Lanka. Recession will affect Sri Lanka's export and tourism. From January to May, exports to the EU grew to $1.2 billion, up to 4.8% year-on-year. In addition to this, the tourist industry could further suffer, as about half of arrivals are European. A prolonged Ukraine situation resulting in disrupting food, energy and fertilizer supplies will push inflation higher in Sri Lanka. The US Federal Reserve is likely to raise interest rates by 75 basis points next week to tame inflation that reached 9.1% in June, the highest it has been since 1981. Impact on Sri Lanka. A rate hike strengthens the USD against the Sri Lankan rupee, as higher rates make the US government securities attractive. This could see further outflow of funds from Sri Lanka's capital markets. Saudi Arabia has announced that at most it will increase oil production to 13 million barrels per day from the current 11 million. Impact on Sri Lanka. Global slowdown and higher oil output is seeing oil prices falling, which is good news for Sri Lanka, who is buying it in the spot market. UK economy rose 0.5% in May after shrinking in April and March. The BBC reports that higher business running costs is increasing customer prices and that the UK could fall into a recession. Impact on Sri Lanka. The UK is the second largest export and tourist source market. Economic volatility and high inflation could affect UK citizens' purchases, which includes travel. And that's a wrap for this week. Join us next time as we update you of global developments impacting Sri Lanka.